Have you ever looked in the mirror and thought, this hair color used to work for me, but now something feels off? You're not alone. As we move gracefully into our 60s and beyond, our skin tone changes, our hair texture shifts, and certain shades that once lit up our face might now feel harsh, dull, or simply out of sync with who we are today. Many women think going gray or sticking with their signature shade is the safest option. But here's a little truth no one talks about. Some hair colors can unintentionally add years to your appearance. Not because they're wrong in general, but because they no longer harmonize with the natural beauty you carry today. The good news. You don't need a drastic makeover or wild experiment. Sometimes all it takes is a gentle shift in tone, a slightly warmer shade here, a softer highlight there, to completely transform how youthful, vibrant, and confident you feel. In today's video, we're going to talk about 3 hair colors that women over 60 should avoid, and just as importantly, I'll show you 3 stunning, age-defying alternatives that bring out the warmth in your skin, the sparkle in your eyes, and the softness in your smile. And no, this isn't about chasing youth. It's about honoring the woman you are now and choosing colors that celebrate your experience, your grace, and your inner glow. By the end, you'll know exactly which shades to skip and which ones to try if you want to feel refreshed, radiant, and fully, unapologetically you. Let's begin with the colors you might want to reconsider, especially if you've noticed your hair feels a little too harsh, too flat, or just not quite right anymore. You might think that embracing your natural gray is the most graceful, low-maintenance choice, and in many ways, it can be. But not all gray tones are created equal. One of the most common mistakes women over 60 make with their hair color is going too cold with silver or gray shades, especially that icy blue-tinted silver that looks almost metallic. Now let's be clear, natural gray hair can be stunning. It can look regal, powerful, and sophisticated if the tone flatters your skin. But when the gray leans too cool, too ashy, or lacks dimension, it can actually wash out your complexion, highlight fine lines, and make your entire face appear more tired and pale than it really is. It's not your age that's the problem. It's the undertone. Cool-toned gray can clash with mature skin that has lost some of its natural warmth and elasticity. This creates a flat, dull appearance that no amount of makeup or bright clothing can fully revive. You might notice your skin suddenly looks blotchy or faded when you wear this shade. Your eyes may seem less vibrant. And your overall energy, which you've worked so hard to protect, just doesn't come through the way it should. What's worse, many over-the-counter box dyes and even some salon stylists default to these ultra-cool tones because they're trendy or fashion-forward. But trendy doesn't always mean flattering, especially for those of us navigating the beautifully complex canvas of mature beauty. So if you've ever left the salon with silver strands that felt a little too sharp, or looked in the mirror and thought, why do I feel older than I did yesterday? This might be the reason. The solution isn't to give up on gray altogether. It's simply to find a warmer, softer variation, something that still embraces your silver, but with more depth and harmony. And in the next section, I'll show you exactly what that alternative looks like. Because you don't need to settle for harsh when you can choose something far more radiant and just as natural. Let's move on to the second hair color that might be secretly sabotaging your look without you even realizing it. There's something undeniably striking about jet black hair. It's bold, it's timeless. And for many women, it's the color they've worn most of their adult lives. But here's the quiet truth no one tells you. Jet black hair can be one of the most aging shades for women over 60. Why? Because it creates a harsh contrast between your hair and your skin, especially as your skin tone softens and loses some of its natural color with age. That deep, inky black, once flattering in your 30s or 40s, now casts shadows that draw attention to every fine line, crease, and under-eye circle. Instead of framing your face with softness, black hair can make your features appear sharper and more severe. Even worse, it flattens the natural warmth of your complexion, leaving you looking washed out, tired, or even slightly ill, no matter how much blush or lipstick you apply. Some women keep dyeing their hair black because they believe it hides gray strands better or makes their hair look thicker. But the truth is, black dye can actually do the opposite. It often highlights the gray roots as they grow in, making them look even more noticeable. And thick, glossy black hair, when it's too uniform, can appear like a helmet, stiff and artificial. You might find that your face no longer lights up with this color the way it once did. Photos feel off. Photos. Your reflection doesn't quite match the energy you feel inside. And worst of all, people might start commenting that you look tired, even when you've had a full night's sleep. That's not because you are tired. It's because your hair color is stealing light from your face. This doesn't mean you need to abandon darker shades completely. But if you're still holding on to black because it feels safe or familiar, consider this your gentle nudge to explore softer, more forgiving tones that still feel rich, but without the harshness. Colors like deep chocolate, soft espresso, or dark brown with warm undertones can offer that same sense of elegance without overpowering your features. And remember, you're not giving up on your style, you're evolving it. You're choosing colors that support your radiance, not fight against it. In the next part, we'll talk about a surprising color that many women think is youthful, but often does more harm than good. Let's keep going. There's something playful and eye-catching about light blonde hair. It gives off a youthful, sunny vibe, at least that's what many women hope for when they go lighter in their 60s. But here's the surprising truth. Very light blonde or platinum shades can actually do the opposite. While these shades might look beautiful on younger skin, they often clash with mature features, especially if your skin has thinned or lost some of its natural glow. Instead of lifting your look, they can make you appear washed out, overly pale, and even frail. The problem lies in how these shades reflect light. Bright blonde and icy platinum tones reflect harsh, cool tones that emphasize texture, such as dry skin, wrinkles, or pigmentation. What's worse, they strip the hair of contrast and richness, which can leave your face looking flat and undefined. If you've ever gone super blonde and felt like your hair looked fried, too bright, or like it had no dimension, you're not imagining it. Platinum and overly light blondes require heavy bleaching, which can make even the healthiest hair appear dry, brittle, and overprocessed. This not only makes your hair feel thinner, but also contributes to an overall look of aging that has nothing to do with your actual age. And then there's the maintenance. Keeping light blonde or platinum hair looking good after 60 is a constant uphill battle. You're fighting brassiness, root regrowth, and dryness, all of which draw attention to the exact areas most women would rather soften, not spotlight. Now, this doesn't mean blondes are off limits. In fact, when done right, blonde tones can be incredibly flattering. The key is choosing softer, warmer variations that blend naturally with your skin and eye color. But the ultralight, white-toned blondes, they often lack that subtlety and instead leave you looking overprocessed or unnaturally pale. Even with the best styling and makeup, these shades can feel disconnected from the rest of your look. So if your blonde feels more draining than dazzling, it might be time to rethink it. Because you deserve hair that lights up your face, not hair that makes you disappear. Coming up next, we'll turn the page and explore the good news. 3 hair colors that truly flatter women over 60, adding softness, richness, and a beautiful sense of confidence. Let's find your new signature shade, one that feels like you, only brighter. If you've ever wished for a hair color that adds warmth, youthfulness, and natural glow without screaming for attention, then caramel brown might just be your new best friend. This rich, warm-tone brown with golden undertones has a magical way of softening your entire face. Unlike jet black, which can be too severe, or platinum blonde, which can wash you out, warm caramel strikes a gentle balance. It brings out the rosy tones in your skin, makes your eyes sparkle, and gives your hair that healthy, dimensional shine that looks effortless, but feels transformative. Caramel isn't just one color. It's a spectrum, ranging from soft honeyed browns to deeper golden chestnuts. And that's what makes it so forgiving and customizable for women over 60. It flatters most skin tones, especially if your complexion has warmed slightly with age or taken on more golden or peach undertones. One of the most beautiful effects of caramel brown is its ability to create softness around the face. Instead of harsh lines or stark contrast, this shade gently frames your features and makes everything feel smoother, lighter, more approachable. You'll likely notice that your cheeks appear rosier, your eyes look brighter, and your entire expression feels more lifted, even without makeup. This shade also has the wonderful benefit of camouflaging grays without erasing them completely. Unlike black dye that creates an obvious line when gray roots grow in, caramel brown blends in with your natural graying hair in a far more forgiving way. It transitions beautifully between salon visits, making it perfect for low-maintenance routines. And the shine, it's worth mentioning again. Caramel reflects light beautifully, especially in sunlight. It makes your hair look alive, moisturized, and full of movement. Even fine or thinning hair can appear fuller with this shade, simply because of how it catches and plays with light. But perhaps most importantly, caramel brown feels age-appropriate without ever feeling old. It's modern, yet timeless, soft, yet elegant. You don't feel like you're trying to look young. You simply look radiant, well-rested, and comfortable in your skin. If you've been clinging to the same color for years because change felt scary, caramel brown might be the perfect first step. It's not a drastic leap. It's a gentle shift, one that whispers confidence instead of shouting for attention. Coming up next, we'll explore another shade that works wonders for mature beauty, a deep, elegant tone that adds richness and glow in all the right ways. Let's take a look at the power of hazelnut brown with soft copper undertones. If your current hair color feels like it's missing something, like it's a little too flat, too dull, or just doesn't bring your face to life, then hazelnut brown with a hint of copper might be the refreshing change you didn't know you needed. This shade is rich, warm, and vibrant, but in the most elegant way. Hazelnut brown sits somewhere between light chocolate and soft chestnut, and when paired with delicate copper undertones, it becomes something truly special, a color that adds light, movement, and a youthful flush to your entire appearance. Unlike cooler ash browns or harsh blacks, this shade warms the skin. It enhances the natural tones in your complexion and gives a subtle glow that can make you look like you just returned from a walk in the sun. Not tanned, not overly bright, just naturally healthy and refreshed. What makes this shade particularly flattering for women over 60 is how it plays with dimension. The copper highlights or undertones aren't flashy or overpowering. They're soft, sun-kissed accents that shimmer gently in the light, especially near the temples or around the face. This helps to draw attention upward and outward, creating a lifted, lively effect without needing makeup or styling tricks. Hazelnut brown is also an excellent choice for women with fine or thinning hair. The warm undertones and natural depth of this color create the illusion of volume and density, making hair look fuller, richer, and healthier. Even when your hair is pulled back or styled simply, it still looks polished and intentional. And maintenance? Surprisingly easy. This tone grows out softly and blends well with grays as they appear. You won't see a sharp contrast between new growth and your dyed hair. Instead, it softens into your natural color, which makes salon appointments less frequent and less stressful. Another secret reason this color works so well. It complements a wide range of wardrobe colors, from soft creams and warm neutrals to deep burgundies and olive greens. It brings harmony to your whole look, which adds to the subtle sophistication that many women over 60 are searching for. Choosing hazelnut brown with copper accents is about embracing warmth, vitality, and depth without needing to shout it. It's a color that says, I'm still here, I'm still glowing, and I've never felt more like myself. Next, we'll reveal one last shade that's unexpected, a little playful, and absolutely stunning when done right. Let's talk about the transformative beauty of deep burgundy or plum-toned highlights, a secret favorite among confident, creative women over 60 taus. If you've ever felt the desire to add just a hint of boldness to your look, but without going over the top, then deep plum or burgundy highlights might be exactly what your hair has been missing. These rich, jewel-toned shades carry an air of quiet confidence. They're not loud, not flashy, and definitely not childish. Instead, they add a whisper of depth and mystery, a touch of playful elegance that turns heads in all the right ways. Many women over 60 shy away from color because they worry about looking like they're trying too hard. But these shades are different. They don't shout youth, they radiate individuality and intention. They show that you still care about expressing yourself, but you're doing it with grace and wisdom. Plum and burgundy hues work best as accents, blended into a deeper base color like warm brown, chestnut, or even hazelnut. They can be applied as subtle highlights, soft balayage around the face, or peekaboo strands that catch the light when you move. This placement makes the effect feel modern and flattering, never harsh. These tones are particularly beautiful in soft lighting, where they glow gently with hints of red, purple, or wine, depending on the base color. They bring out green or hazel eyes, complement silver jewelry, and pair beautifully with rich fall and winter wardrobes. But perhaps their greatest strength lies in what they do for your skin. Unlike cool gray or ashy tones, burgundy and plum colors add warmth and vibrancy to the face. They brighten up dull complexions, soften the appearance of wrinkles, and give your overall look a boost of creative energy. And if your hair has been feeling flat or lifeless lately, this is one of the easiest ways to restore depth and texture without the commitment of a full color change. The contrast from the highlights creates movement, volume, and a sense of freshness, even on second or third day hair. Better yet, these shades age gracefully. They fade into warm undertones rather than turning brassy or gray, and they blend beautifully with natural silver streaks if you're growing out your gray. Choosing plum or burgundy is about more than color. It's about expression. It says, I'm not fading into the background. I'm evolving, and I'm doing it with style. Coming up next, we'll bring everything together with a heartfelt conclusion that helps you choose the shade that feels most like you, and reminds you that confidence, not color, is what truly makes a woman radiant at any age. So now you've seen them, the 3 hair colors that may be quietly working against your natural glow, and the 3 thoughtful, radiant alternatives that can help you step into a more confident, refreshed version of yourself. The truth is, no one teaches us how to evolve our personal style as we age. Most women are left navigating this part of life on their own, clinging to the shades and styles that once worked, even if they no longer reflect who we are today. But here's the beautiful part about getting older. You no longer owe anyone an explanation for how you choose to show up. You don't have to follow trends. You don't need to impress anyone. And you certainly don't need to apologize for wanting to feel beautiful in your own skin and in your own hair. Maybe you've worn the same color for decades because it felt familiar. Maybe you went gray to simplify things, but now you feel invisible. Or maybe you've experimented with blonde, black, or ash tones hoping for a spark, only to feel less like yourself afterward. If any of that sounds familiar, please know this. There's nothing wrong with you. And there's nothing wrong with wanting to feel a little more alive, a little more vibrant, without chasing youth. The goal isn't to look younger. It's to look more like you, as you are today. And the right hair color can do exactly that. It can soften, brighten, and honor your presence without screaming for attention. Caramel browns bring warmth and health to the face. Hazelnut with copper adds richness and subtle sparkle. Plum or burgundy tones whisper individuality and a touch of artistry. These colors don't try to cover you up. They let you shine through, and the best part, when you find a shade that truly suits you, something inside you changes. You sit up a little straighter. You smile more freely. You stop questioning whether you still have it, because you know you do. I know that change can feel intimidating, especially when it comes to something as personal as your hair. But I hope this video has shown you that it doesn't have to be drastic to be meaningful. A small shift in tone, a warmer undertone, a softer finish, a playful streak of color can open the door to a completely new relationship with your reflection. So here's my heartfelt advice. Don't be afraid to let go of the colors that no longer serve you. They had their moment, but maybe now it's time for something that celebrates who you've become, not who you used to be. Your beauty didn't disappear with age. It simply evolved, and you deserve a hair color that evolves with you. If this video made you think differently about your hair, I'd love to know. Which color are you most excited to try next? Or have you already found a shade that makes you feel like the best version of yourself? Feel free to share your thoughts in the comments. Let's make this space a place where women over 60 can inspire each other, support one another, and reclaim our visibility with elegance and joy. And if you found this video helpful, consider subscribing or leaving a kind note. It helps our small but growing community continue to thrive. Because the truth is, it's not just about hair color. It's about remembering that you still deserve to feel radiant. And you always will.